Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and a really exciting future, with or without Harry Kane. I am getting really sick of the Harry Kane news. It's like waking up every morning. So I feel I want to put on my Clash album. Shall I stay or shall I go? That's how I feel. I'm getting really pissed off with it. And now Chelsea are looking at him from just because he's building a house next to the Chelsea training ground. I don't know, but we will get into more of that in a minute. Joining me on this stream, of course, it is a joint stream with Mia Spurs Between the Lines as we march Mia to 3,000 watch hours, and then Mia will join the mighty us as being monitorized channel. So we're nearly there, Mia. We're not far off, are we?
No, actually, it's close. It's actually pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So you're now going to be watching one of the few times left where me and Mia will be doing this joint stream, and it'd be sad, really. It'd be like watching one of your children leave home when Mia leaves. It'd be a bit sad.
I mean, I'm not guys. I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not going away. You're never going to see me again. Like, chill, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come back once a month for your dinner.
Back with the washing once a month.
Yeah, and get the washing done as well. Oh dear. Anyway, but joining me on the stream, of course, is Mia. Mia, we'll get to you. How are you this afternoon, Mia? You're well, though. On all joking aside.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much.
That's good. And of course, with me, of course, down below me is Højbjerg's biggest fan, but we still don't know which country Ellie's supporting because she Ellie's a bit like the UN. She supports everyone, apart from a few countries that have been, put on the no-go fly zone. So put that to one side. How are you anyway, Ellie? And are you going into deep mourning over Højbjerg news?
Well, the thing is, I've got a lot of conflicting things that are coming to me because they know I love Højbjerg. People are sending me messages, like personal ones, and they saying, "How are you feeling?" So I just feel that some of it's true and some of it isn't because I've just been on his website and it doesn't say that he wants to leave.
Well, Ellie, I've got conflicting the board. And look, I'd be like you. I'd be devastated if he leaves. But look, we'll have to go into a month mourning, you and me, Ellie, and just wear black every day and just, look sad. And of course, last but not least, he is the governor. He is the godfather. He is the man that actually we all bow down to. It. If we do anything wrong, he sends the horses' heads around. Of course, it's the one and only Tom Jones next to me. How are you?
I'm running out of answers to that one, though. I really am,
I'll tell you what, it's definitely not. It's not unusual, eh?
It's not unusual for me not to have an answer to something, but I'll tell you. I
want to know where your light is.
Hang on. Hang on. I moved house. I moved residence here. I'm not in a different part of the house. Hold on, I'll bring the blind down a bit.
Okay. Anyway, while we're waiting for the Godfather to sort himself out and
That's it.
It's the heavenly light coming in the inside.
There,
Yeah,
that's Højbjerg's light. You see,
Ellie, just
now
stop.
I can hear you.
Ellie, stop. All right, just calm yourself. Just calm yourself, Ellie. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat. Anyway, and Philip, you're all right though. Very quickly. Your day on the right.
Apart from Tom Jones reference, I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll leave that alone for a little while for you. All right.
Until next Wednesday.
That's right. He won't drop no more. He won't drop no more sex bombs.
I love that.
Unexploded one.
If you notice, me and Mia do come up with some good ones, don't we, Mia? But anyway, here is Carl Simpson this afternoon, guys, and hello everyone in the chat. We've got Tequila saying hello. We've got Corey Boy saying sup. Sup to you, Corey Boy. Tequila says, got my groceries coming soon, miss. So can't stay for long. Tesco, wait for no man. I did click and collect today. Click and collect at Tesco is brilliant. I have to say. Corey saying,
the side down.
No. Chelsea have been alert to the fact that Harry Kane has commissioned a building.
Wow.
Whoa, that's breaking news. Of a sizable new family home close to the Wentworth golf course to the west of London. Just 15 miles from the club.
Just 15 miles.
Yeah, just 15 miles. And from the club's training ground where Pochettino will soon be in charge, report the Daily Telegraph.
Yeah, that Cobham in
Well, can I just say, the Telegraph is for the people that are smart. And just read the Sun. Just read page 3. I do not believe a word that comes out of any British press, to be fair.
You know,
So-
I mean, just because you're
Era.
building a house 15 miles from Chelsea ground doesn't
Yeah.
mean. I'm sure he's probably building it 15 miles from the nearest dog track, but doesn't mean he's
Yeah.
going to do the greyhound racing. You
I
know
mean, me and Mia were talking about this earlier, weren't we, Mia? And look, I'm sure he's got more than one house around everywhere. So
Harry Kane, he rents the house he's living in at the minute, right?
yeah,
But he's bought up an awful lot of property for investment property.
yeah,
He rents out. So this is his first house of his own. And the fact that it's in Surrey, it's just in the stockbroker belt, very affluent area. But tying that to Chelsea is like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
yeah, it is. We've got Corey Boy saying, wow, we've got Jazz Fusion, big up Jazz, well done. We've got Jim, High or Hope as well. If that's true, Kane plans to see out the last year with us and join. Well, we've got more breaking news on Kane, so I wouldn't actually be saying that's going to happen. Who else we've got in? We've got Simon Cohen, big up Simon. We've got Jazz Fusion saying, no, Corey, but how do you force a change without a transfer request? Well, look, he has put one in. It was rejected, so we leave that to you lads talking about that. We've got a girl who just loves Spurs in, big up Kate, hope you're doing well. Who else we've got in? We have Spurs Ninja, big up Spurs Ninja. We've got Colin Turner, big up Colin, hope you're doing well. So we've got FTSM Colin, big up Colin, hope you're doing well, sir. We've got Andrew Gregory says, afternoon, guys. The most important thing that Harry Kane is that his new house will be close to Wentworth Golf Course. Exactly. We've got Paul Connor, big up Paul. He says, afternoon. We've got Lisa from Mexico, big up Lisa. How are you doing, honey? Hope you're doing well. We've got Carl saying Kane ain't going to Chelsea as Butch will be sacked by the end of the season. True.
Yeah.
Colin Turner, the Wentworth estate, so he can walk to the first tee. That's great. We've got Rob Belcher. Nothing beats the green grass of home, Philip. After all, you live on the Emerald Isle.
True.
That is
That's
a very
true.
good one.
Yeah. Apart from the ending of that song now, it's a bit sad.
Okay. Good afternoon, DG Green Alert. It says, everyone, hi, Dermot. Philly, that's you, down below me. Philip Amir, not my comp, so just watching today. Well, big up DG Green. I hope you're doing all right. That's Ellie's new nickname, Philly. There you go. Ellie's new nickname. We've got FT Columns in breaking news. FTSM column has been approached by THFC to join on loan move for 1 hour. Yeah, that is true. We're waiting on contracts to be signed as we speak. Philip, the chairman's, and Mia are looking into this deal. And how are we getting on with that loan move, Mia? Are we any closer to breaking news on that?
No, do you know what? His terms, what's on his terms is too much. His conditions, I don't agree with it. He wants 2 biscuits a day, 2 biscuits. Ridiculous.
We'll have to go in for 1.5 biscuits. Where's that noise coming from?
1 biscuit.
I think it was my phone, actually. It's okay. It's gone off now.
Sorry. We've got Richard Coffey.
Yeah.
It would be so stupid even to try to sell Højbjerg.
Don't worry, it's me. It was my noise. It was my noise. It's my computer. I'm just going to plug it in.
Okay. It would be so stupid even to try to sell Højbjerg. He's one of the few players who gives everything on the pitch. You can't see it when he plays, not like the likes of Dyer, who's been kept. Well, yeah, I've got actually the latest news on Dyer. We've got Edward, big up, Edward Wyabzod, and girl who just loves Spurs, 49 subscribers now.
Well done, Kate. That's good. That's good.
Well done.
Well done. 1 off the 50. And we've got Kane has already rented out the annex to Gareth Bale. And Tequila says, hold on, I only get 1 Jaffa cake a day. He's protesting Tequila as well. Look, what we do is...
Well, it's because he don't... Do you know what that is for Tequila, right? He doesn't turn up for the job. He only does half the job. You don't even deserve 1 Jaffa cake a day. Cheeky.
Right, well, I know. But anyway, look, Ellie's on 2. Ellie's on 1.5 Jaffa cakes. And Philip just asked for a whole album, but never mind. Anyway, here we go with the Daily Kane News. This is a new newspaper that me and Philip have started. It's called the Kane News. And what the daily, this is, look, I'm going to put it out there now. I am sick to death to my back stomach of Harry Kane news every day. Will he just do something just to put us all out of our misery? Daily Kane News. FC Bayern wants to prepare a new written offer. Verbal agreement for days as Kane has said yes. Players made clear Bayern is preferred destination abroad. Bosses are aware that the fact it will be difficult to come to an agreement with Spurs official, but Kane is the desired new number 9. And then it goes on. We've got this news here, Philip. I know you wanted to say something on this.
Right.
Hold the front page.
If Daniel Levy values his private his extremities, he will not sell Harry Kane to Chelsea.
No,
because that would put the Sol Campbell situation in the back of the bus. It really would. It would be just unforgivable. Okay, he might sell him to Bayern Munich. He might sell him to Real Madrid. We can take that reluctantly, but to sell him to Chelsea would be the greatest betrayal, apart from selling him to Arsenal, of course, that any chairman could put on a Tottenham fan. So, Daniel, if you're thinking of selling him to Chelsea, just change your mind, or else there'll be hordes marching down the high road looking for you.
I don't believe this news. I think
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe bullshit. One iota.
But just in case there's a modicum of truth in it, forget about it.
Yeah. Girls, do you want to say anything on this? Look, I don't believe it. Philip doesn't believe it.
I was on a Chelsea podcast last night just listening, and all the Chelsea fans were like bigging up Harry Kane. I just went on there to see what they're talking, because the headline was about Kane.
Yeah.
Right? And I just sneaked in there, right? THFC till I die, because they can see us and it increases our profile as well. And they were all talking about Kane, how much they want him. Yeah, whereas Man United fans,
hypocrites.
Yeah.
Mia, do you believe this? Look, do you agree with me and Philip? It's a load of nonsense, this.
Yeah, do you know what? They can warn him all they want. Like, I want Chris Hemsworth. It doesn't mean I'm going to get him. They can shove it where the sun don't bloody shine. They're not getting Harry Kane. No bloody way. No way.
Well, I'll give you the very latest on the Kane news we have. And this is the very latest. Bayern Munich are ready to increase their bid for Harry Kane. I got this in the last half hour. But sources in Germany have indicated they will not be willing to pay more than £86 million. Tottenham want at least 100 million. But this is the kicker. This is on the flip side. A contract is on the table from Spurs. Also, if Kane signs the new contract, he will stay until 2027.
When he's 34 years of age.
Yeah. So now, guys, where do we run on this? I mean, Philip, I'll start with you, then to go to you, Mia, and then you, Ellie, and then I'll have the last word. Philip, where do we go? I mean, can he just come out and do something? I am sick to death of the Harry Kane saga. Every fucking window.
Yeah. I mean, okay, there's this meeting he's supposed to be having with Ange Postecoglou. Whether that's taken place or not, we don't know. Some people say it hasn't taken place yet. But I'll tell you one thing. If Harry Kane has that meeting, right, likes what he sees, I mean, let's face it, he has to like what he's seen so far in the transfer window. You know, he's got to be impressed with what we've done so far. And let's face it, another thing, if he is offered a new contract, you can be sure it'll be 300 grand a week minimum to be offered.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even going to earn that going to Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. So this is really testing Harry's loyalty. But I just wish, for the sake of all Spurs fans' sanity over the next few weeks, he just makes a decision sooner rather than later. Because we can progress onto this season with great optimism if we know Harry Kane's staying along with these new signings. You know, if Harry Kane goes, it's going to put a bit of a damper on things for a while. But put it like this: Spurs as a club are better off now than we were 10 days ago. Far better off. So let's just hope that common sense prevails and Harry stays with us. Even though I don't think he will.
I personally, every year we have this. He's got a year left in his contract, so he's got 6 months really of him before he can do something himself.
Yeah.
Mia, do you think he will sign this new contract? He's got to do something. He's got to say something, hasn't he?
Do you know what?
Because we can't keep rolling on this narrative. Or if he does go, you got a section of the fan base that are going to leave his ass out of it because you're selling our best striker. But what does he do? He's damned if he do and damned if he doesn't, isn't he, really?
He is, because obviously there's a section of the fans who would never want to sell Harry Kane. However, I don't know if he's going to be convinced enough by what Ange Postecoglou will say. Now, none of us know what he's thinking. None of us know what he's feeling. But as far as I can, what I would say is that he wants to be the top of his game. And to be the top of his game, he'll want to compete for trophies. And I can't see us competing for big trophies anytime soon. Now, a lot of people disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine to disagree, but that's maybe how I personally see it as someone who's quite a competitive person. I think that Kane is a very competitive person. So I don't think he's going to sign. Now, I already said I would say to him, speak to Ange and say, right, you've got 5 days to decide. Are you going to sign a contract or not? And if he does not, then you say, okay, Harry, we sell you. Because I feel like he needs to be decisive and we need to know as a club. And he gets those days to decide, talk to his family and see what they think. But if he's going to stay, he needs to sign a contract, in my opinion.
Ellie, look, Bayern Munich won't pay no more than £86 million plus add-ons, which adds up to 100 million. Look, if you put yourself in Daniel Levy's shoes, right, Ellie? Okay, you got a player on a year left in his contract. Within 6 months, he can sign for anyone for free.
Yeah.
What do you do if you were Daniel Levy? If you were in his shoes, what would you do?
Well, I was reading what David Harris said today on Irish Hotspur, right? And I really did agree with him, because he said if you lose Harry, right, you've got the chance of not making Champions League as well, right?
We're not going to make Champions League, Ellie, next season.
No,
but we're not going to make it next season anyway.
Nobody knows that. You
don't know that, yeah. We don't know that, yeah.
Predict it.
It's unlikely. Very unlikely.
But would anybody have said Arsenal were going to make it at the start of last season? Nobody.
We've made it 6 out of 7 years. We've only missed out this year because we've had a lot of upheaval at the club and we sort of lost our way when Conte done his bit. Right, nobody knows, right? Because now we've got Maddison and we're going to make some more signings. We can push for that top 4 regardless, right? Now, what I was saying before I got rudely interrupted.
It wasn't the question I asked, Ellie. The question I asked was, if you're Daniel Levy...
Let me answer it. Yeah. Right. If I was Daniel Levy, I would say, right, what are our ambitions at this club? Are we going for more than top 4, or we just want to make top 4? Right? Do we do it with Harry, or do we do it without Harry? Can we do it without Harry? I would be saying to myself. I said, maybe we can, but with Harry, we've got a much, much better chance. That's what I would say if I was Daniel Levy. I would break my back to keep the man.
Yeah, but also there's 5 teams next season, which I totally forgot. The top 5 qualify for the Champions League as from next season.
Right.
So I totally forgot about that. But look, Ellie, I slightly disagree with you in one sense, right? If Harry has to come out one way or the other and say, I want to stay, I want to go. He can keep doing this every transfer window. It's the Harry Kane show. It's the Harry Kane saga. I am sick to death of it. Yet we all know he's our best player, but big players have left before, Ellie. You know that as well as I do. Philip remembers when Jimmy Greaves left. Glenn Hoddle left in 87. We missed Glenn Hoddle. Okay, and yet it took us a few years to get back, and then we had the Venables era with the FA Cup at the end of 91. We had Keith Birkinshaw came in, had to rebuild the team. We lost decent players then. So Harry Kane, he's a big player for us, but we will survive if Harry Kane leaves this summer. Tottenham Hotspur will go on. Harry Kane is not the end all or the be all and end all. Be all and end all. Tottenham Hotspur, we will succeed and we will qualify. If top 5 is the Champions League for next season, we could finish in 5th place and qualify for the Champions League. But Harry Kane has to come out, Ellie, and Philip and Mir, and say, I want to stay or I want to go. Saying nothing leaves a vacuum around that everybody else feels with all their own narratives. The media, TalkSport, Sky Sports, us, all the other Tottenham fan channels. We're all talking about the same thing. Harry Kane can put this to bed very, very quickly and very, very easily. I'm staying. I'm going to sign a new contract. End of story. Or I want to go. I'm leaving. End of story. Saying nothing leaves everything up to interpretation and your own determination of what can happen. He has to come out and say something. So I mean.
I agree, but if you ask yourself this, guys, not just Dermot, right? If we sell our best players, what are we doing? We're weakening ourselves, aren't we? Right? We haven't won. We've only won one trophy in 23 seasons by selling our best assets. So why should we sell Harry Kane? We should be busting our gut to keep him.
Yeah, but
if he doesn't want to stay, though, but if he doesn't genuinely want to stay, Ellie, you cannot hold a person hostage, and that is the fact. So hold on, let me just finish. So what I would say is that if he genuinely doesn't want to stay, if you give him this offer and you say this is what we plan to do, and whatever Ange tells him, and he still does not want to stay, you cannot beg. We're not going to be begging him to stay. We can't act like that. That is a small club mentality. You cannot say, oh, please stay, Harry, please. Listen, if the guy wants to go off and he wants to go because he thinks he can win big trophies somewhere else, let him do it. Because I feel like that holding on to someone who doesn't want to be here is not good for the club either. It's not good for the players. So
I disagree. I totally disagree with that. I think it's a big club mentality to hold on to your big players.
No. Only if he doesn't want to stay. If he don't want to stay, we should be begging him.
A lot of players don't want to stay at their clubs, but they do stay because.
No, they don't. How many players stay at their club who genuinely don't want to be there, Ellie? A lot of players move on to other clubs.
I don't think Harry's one of those. It's just he might have had his head turned here or there, but I think his heart is with Spurs. And if we make him the right offer, he will stay.
His heart is not with Spurs. His heart is with winning. If he would have got that money for Man City, he would have been, bye-bye Tottenham, I'm going to go and win stuff at City. Trust me. He would have gone to City to win stuff. And any elite player should want to do that anyway. Any elite player should want to go and win stuff. Absolutely. He should want to do that. He would have done that. So...
All right, can
I just get in there? Can I just say something there? Just finish that off. Right. What Spurs need to do now, right, is to show intent. They can't, but Harry Kane is not going to make a move until Spurs make the first move. What Tottenham should do now is, right, Harry, here's a new contract for the next 4 years, right? It's 300 grand a week, right? Take it or leave it, right? Yeah. But if Harry Kane comes out and says, I'd like to stay at Tottenham, you can be sure that contract will be for 200 grand a week. So that's why Spurs need to go and make the offer first to him. Make him an offer he can't refuse. Because the grass is not always greener on the other side of the hill.
Listen,
and if he's made an offer like that, who knows?
Look, I don't disagree with the offer. That's what I'm saying, though, Philip. We should give him that offer, but we shouldn't beg him. We should say to him, "This is the offer. Take it or leave it." And if he says leave it,
we're not begging it. But we need to give him an offer first, though. We need to give him the offer. We need to make the first move and give him the offer.
A lot of it's got to do. A lot of it's got to do when he speaks to Ange. We don't know if that meeting has taken place or that meeting has to take place. So we have to see what happens. But people seem to forget him. He's got a year left in his contract. 6 months' time, he can go anywhere he wants. He can sit out for the next 6 months. I'm not signing. I'm not signing. I'm not signing. And do you know what? There'll be loads of body in fear, and he will pick the best offer for him. Now, he's got to make a decision. Does he want to continue his legacy at Tottenham and break the Premier League goal-scoring record, which, to be honest, isn't the be-all and end-all for Harry Kane? Harry Kane wants to win trophies. Now, does he trust Postecoglou to keep him there and to win trophies under his helm? That's the question Harry Kane firstly has got to ask himself. Secondly, what does Daniel Levy do? Does Daniel Levy go down the route that he went down with Sol Campbell all them years ago? Slightly different situation, I understand that. But does he go down that route and lose a player for nothing? then all hell will break loose. All hell's going to break loose either way. If we sell him, if we keep him. I agree in what you said, Ellie, in some sense of it, that we have to keep our best players. I agree with that. But I also agree with Mia. We cannot keep a player there that doesn't want to be there.
Can I give
Harry
a good
yeah, hang on, Mia, please. Yeah. Everybody else has had to say. I just want to quickly have my say. Harry Kane has to come out with some sort of intent or some sort that shows he wants to be there next season. People seem to forget he down tools when Nuno took charge. And for the first 6 or 7 games, there was no Harry Kane. He's very quick. He had his head turned with Man City. This contract should have been sorted out a season ago. It should have been sorted out last year. Or a year and a half left in his contract. Tottenham should have said, right, there's your new contract. Again, we're leaving things to the last minute. And again, we could be shooting ourselves in the foot. Sorry, Mia. Go on. I'll let you.
No, what I would say is, would you look at somebody who's there's 2 players recently. Obviously, we've got Declan Rice recently, and we've also got Jack Grealish. They were childhood clubs of theirs. Jack Grealish, come through the academy, loves Villa, loves his hometown, obviously loves everything about Villa. But look what he did. He's not a traitor for what he done. He wanted to be the elite of the elite. So he went to Man City to win stuff. He knew that he couldn't win at Villa. So he was like, listen, I love Villa, but do you know what? I'm going to go on to do bigger and better stuff, because that is an elite mentality to do that. And Declan Rice is thinking, do you know what? I love my club, but I want to try and move on and see if I can go further. That's elite mentality. And I expect Harry Kane should have that mentality as well. He should want to.
We're
not a bigger... I understand what you're saying when you think we're a bigger club than what Villa are, but we're not bigger than a Man City. So obviously, if Kane went to a bigger club than us, then and he wins stuff, then do you know what I mean?
Well, this is what
I disagree again. I think we are a bigger club than Man City. Sorry.
We're not, Ellie.
We're not.
We're not.
It doesn't matter. They've won
Money
stuff.
doesn't make you big.
But
Money, they had no history before their money came.
It doesn't. Okay.
I understand. If those same investors came to Spurs, we wouldn't be better than them. We'll be bigger than them, and we'll be better than them.
Ellie, we're not a big club because we haven't won anything. Big club,
sorry,
we haven't won.
We haven't won anything.
Stuff.
It doesn't
Listen,
matter.
right? I'll tell you.
You're not a big club. You're not a big club just from trophies only. You're a big club in the way you act. Right, our history tells you we're a big club. We are a big club, and we're much better than Man City as a club.
We're not better. Listen, listen.
They bought their success. Do you think?
Listen, it doesn't matter.
Hang on, you two. By down, let one speak at a time so we can hear you.
I won't have it that we're not a big club. No.
Right, okay. I'll tell you the club's order to me. We've got elite clubs, right? You've got in the Prem anyway. You've got Man United, Liverpool. They've won loads in their history, and they're big clubs. And you've got City, who are big now. They become a big club because they have won it all. They have won it all. Chelsea, not as big up as City yet, but they're a big club now because of what they have won. You've got Arsenal. They're a big club because of what they have won. We're in the bracket with Villa because Villa have won a Champions League. We're in the brackets with Everton. The amount of trophies we've won, we're more that bracket. That's where we are as a club. When you look at the trophies won, and if you look at how big, if you Google who's the biggest clubs, we're not in that bracket. We're just not.
Look, we are in the top. Hang on, right? Let me have my say. Okay,
massive club.
If you go on the history side of it, I agree with Ellie. We are a massive club with a massive history. We've done a lot of things, but hang on, please. Let me finish. But over the last 20 years, we haven't been a big club because we haven't won stuff. A club is as big as what it's won, and we haven't won. So we've gone from we're a big name. We've got a big name all around the world. You know, we're one of the biggest names in the world, Tottenham Hotspur. But you look at the great Man United, you look at Liverpool, you look at them lot down the road, you look at Chelsea. Look, for fuck's sake, even West Ham won a European trophy last season, though it was the Conference League. Do you know what I mean? We have the history, all right. But for the last 20-something years, we've not been a big club. We've not acted like a big club. We may have the name.
That statement.
Do you know, we haven't acted, and that's nobody's fault for a kick here or a kick there or a decision here or a decision there. We've could have won trophies. So a lot of it you can blame. Yeah, it's Lee. People will say it's all Levy's fault. It's his fault. Everything lays on him. But if we won the penalty shoot against Man United, we would have won back-to-back League Cups. If Pochettino had made better decisions in the semi-final against Chelsea, we'd have reached an FA Cup final.
Yeah.
If Pochettino would have made the right decisions when we did reach the League Cup final under him, we'd have won 3 League Cups since 2008. If he had played more instead of an unfit Harry Kane in the Champions League final, who knows what would have happened? If we didn't get the dodgy decision against us, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
A big club is on what it wins. We haven't won any. We may be a big club in their history. We may be a big club in name, but we're not a big club because we're not one of the top 4 or the top 6. We're one of the top 7 because we haven't been successful.
No, we're top 6. We're top 6, Dermot. No doubt about it.
Yeah, but the point I'm making, you can't. I mean, where do you stand in this? Ellie says we're a big club with everything. Mia's saying no, we're not a big club because we haven't been successul.
No, we're a big club. We're a big club. We're a big club with the best stadium in the world, the best training ground in the world.
Yeah, but we haven't won anything.
That doesn't matter. We've got so much revenue. We're one of the top earners, one of the top earning clubs. Big club. There's no definition of a big club that says you have to win trophies. Big club is stature, status, what's your potential. That's what we've got, and we are a big club. Anyone says we're not a big club is not a Spurs fan. Sorry.
Well, Philip, I've been Spurs fan.
We are a big club. We are a big club.
I think that's a very unfair thing to say.
I'm sorry, but
all
I'm just
entitled
saying
to my opinion.
anyone that says Spurs are not a big club does not know their history.
Big club.
Forget about trophies.
No, that's not true.
We are a big club. Okay, anyone says we're not a big club, I don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry.
Right, listen, right.
Very unfair, actually.
Yeah, I find that statement unfair because, in my opinion, who the big clubs are in the Premier League, we've got quite a few above us, Philip. We are not one of the big boys. But that was the debate. That was the debate. Are we one of those big clubs?
Maybe I missed something. I was on a phone call that I had to take. If we were talking about big club, you're classing Newcastle as a bigger club than Spurs. You're classing Villa as a bigger club than Spurs, right?
Yeah, Villa, we're on the same level as Villa because Villa, don't forget, they've won a Champions League in '82. We've never won a Champions League.
When was the last time they were in Europe up to this season?
But this is what I'm saying to you. That's where we were. That's why
no
we're probably.
Formula. There is no formula for working it out.
But the equivalent. But the equivalent probably is that we're on the when Everton and Villa are only a couple of trophies behind us when it comes to trophies count. So we're more on that level than we are City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
We're on the same level as the team that's got away with relegation on the last day of the last 2 seasons. Hasn't won a cup in longer than we have.
But they've got trophies. They've only got a few less trophies than us. So,
and
they're a big. Historically, they're a big club as well. Everton, are they not?
Are, but it's not
so
all history.
exactly.
But
you just said if we're not a Tottenham supporters, if we don't know our history, so you can't go back on another club and say that.
It's to do with what we've got. We've got the best stadium, right? Training ground, facilities to make a shed load of money on non-football activities. Stuff like that. We're one of the 9th biggest earning club in the world. And yet we're saying we're not a big club. It doesn't make sense.
We're a big club.
But that doesn't mean...
Can I actually say something here? Can I just say, look, we need to let everyone have their say. Because everyone's talking over. And look, Kathy Price, if you're bored, then just go and watch something else. Okay, this is a debate. We're having a debate. If you're already bored, then nothing we can help you with. I'm sorry. Look, Philip, I find that very unfair. I know you know me well enough to know I know my history of Tottenham. I know my history better than anyone else.
I'm amazed you don't think we're a big club. I cannot get over that.
Look, I've already said to Ellie, and Ellie would back me up. I said in name we're a big club. And I did say that, didn't I?
You're
Ellie?
talking. There's more than a name. You know,
Yeah.
there's more than a name.
Hang on a minute, Philip. Let me speak because I'm really annoyed about this. Because
well, I mean, if you're annoyed, I'll just back off, and you can have this discussion amongst the three of it. I'll just back off. That's the way
so. What do you mean?
I don't want to annoy anybody by being here.
No, but the point I'm making is we as a club, we are. I said to Ellie and Mia, we are a big club in name. We've got the history to back us up as a big club, but we haven't been successful as a big. We haven't acted as a big club over the last 20 years. And I said, a kick here or a kick there, we could have won 3 League Cups, 2 FA Cups, a league, 2 leagues. Well, league we should have won the league, and the Champions League.
And we've been in 9 finals as well.
Yeah, if things went our way.
Yeah.
But 1 trophy in 20 years does not come across as a big club, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but listen, it all depends on the formula you're using to define big club. And it seems to me there's 55 different ways of working it out, right? I'm working it out on the physical presence that club has in the Tottenham area, the size of the stadium, everything like that. The players we've generated, right? The fact we've Harry Kane, the captain of England. Okay, we haven't won trophies, fair enough. We've been unlucky. But I just cannot accept that we're not a big club. And I don't care what anyone says. I will never, ever accept that. We weren't a big club. We weren't a big club up to about 1950. But when we started winning titles, then we went into a bit of a doldrums in the 70s. Maybe then we weren't a big club. But we have, if we were still sitting in White Hart Lane with a capacity of 36,000, I'd agree with you. But we haven't. We've moved on.
Right.
And the next stage is now to get the players in that will win us the trophies.
Yeah, I want to ask you all a question. Would you want a successful team and trophies and White Hart Lane, or the new stadium we've got now and what we've went through for the last 4 or 5 years, Philip? And
that's a bit unfair because, you know, that's a hypothetical question. It's never going to happen.
I am asking a hypothetical. Question, but I'm just putting out. Do you know, we have this great stadium, Philip, but we haven't. Where do we go with this? Because, yeah, we've got the history. We've bought James Maddison. We've got Harry Kane. We've had big players before, Philip. You know that. And there was big teams under Terry Venables. We finished 3rd in the league 1 year. And do you know, we've had chances under Pochettino to win stuff. So where do you think it went wrong? Where do you think we've never been able to get over the line? Do you know, where do you put your finger on? Hang on. We didn't get over the line because of what?
We didn't get over the line because despite as many achievements in getting us a stadium and a training ground, the problem lies with Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
Right? For not backing the managers, right?
Yeah.
For not backing the managers, for making the wrong decisions with managers, right? We all thought Mourinho, he was the dogs. He was going to do it. He didn't. The Garden Gnome, we knew he was going to do nothing, and he didn't. Conte was the one that's disappointed us all. Now, Conte, I think, thought he was doing us a favor by coming as a manager. We have now got a manager in that's got a big, big thing to prove after his success in Scotland, right? And what he's done so far in the last 4 or 5 weeks since he took over, since he was appointed, right? He has done more in the transfer market in the last 2 weeks than the previous managers did in the past 2.5 years, right? Yeah. So I see signs now that Daniel Levy has finally realized he's got to do what his manager wants. And he's allowing him buy the players he wants. Not buying players for the club. He's buying what the manager, allowing the manager to buy the players he wants. And from that, I can only see us being successful this season. I think we're going to be the surprise team this season.
Yeah,
a lot of players have written us off already.
Yeah,
I can see the shoots coming through here. We are going to be something to watch out.
Yeah, I've already been down the book is to put a $5 on us actually winning something this year.
Yeah, well, that's
I've actually stuck a $5 on it. Look, can I just put Kathy? We have not fallen out. All 4 of us haven't, to be fair. We're still friends. We still get on. We're very passionate about our club, and our passion does boil over sometimes on how we feel about.
Do you know what? I feel like people might feel like I'm disrespecting us as a club, but I'm not, because I know our history. You know, I do know our history, and I do love the club. But I'm also realistic in what's happened in recent times, you know, like, and that's how I personally judge what it, because if we all want to win trophies, right? So trophies are clearly an important part of something, and that's where we judge it, is because on trophies, because we're all unhappy because we haven't won trophies. So we have to class those teams who have won trophies above us, because they have won those trophies. It doesn't matter how they got them, but they have won them. We all want to win them, so that is important to us. So we can't then dismiss them as part of a club being a big club, is them winning those trophies, right? That's my logic personally. And it isn't because I disrespect our club. I love my club. I absolutely, otherwise I would have just supported somebody else. Obviously, I've stuck by Tottenham through thick and thin, just like everyone else who supports Tottenham. So it isn't like that at all for me. I love Tottenham, you know, so it's not me being disrespectful
No
to
doubt
us.
about that.
I got 66-1 for us to win a cup double next season with a fiver.
That's a good fiver bet.
Yeah, there you go.
Well done.
Look, can we say we all do good? And I have put something in the private chat, Philip.
Yeah. No,
okay.
listen, I'm sorry if I offended anybody. You know, Joe, I'm just supporting Spurs longer than any of you.
Yeah.
And you know, I do get that sort of thing. I get enough crap from my Arsenal and Man United supporting friends, and it gets to me at times, you know. So maybe I was over the top there. I didn't mean to be offensive to anybody, but I'm just passionate about the club, and I do feel this is going to be a breakthrough season for us in one way or other.
We're all passionate about Spurs, and we all want Spurs to do well. It's just that I think it's been a frustration time for us, as Spurs fans, for what we've gone through Levy, through everything else. It's just been really frustrating. So we and Carl says, don't apologise, and I agree with it, Carl. It's your opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Philip. And look,
listen, I don't want to disrespect anybody who might have a differing opinion to me, you know. But, you know, it's just that I just think that, you know, people could say Brentford are a big club. Now, there is an argument. They're not. No. Even though they did very well this season,
but
you know.
The point I was trying to make, and I did say to the girls that we haven't acted as a big club, and that was the point I was trying to make. We haven't acted.
Well, that is down to Daniel Levy, a lot of it, and we know that. But like what I'm doing at the moment, though, I'm giving Daniel Levy some credit, minor as it is, for what he's done in the last couple of weeks. And let's hope it continues for the rest of the transfer window.
My brother said something very poignant on that about acting like a big club. He said, right, because he knows about the Levy thing with me, and I don't particularly like Levy, but he said, look what he's done, right? He's built us a stadium. He's building us so that we can compete with these top people that have got the big investment in, right? So that we can get a little bit closer to them. Yeah. And all because we're the third highest sports company, I read, in terms of revenue, right? So we are getting there, but you have to compete financially as well. You know, you can't just buy your bigness. That's what I'm saying. You can't buy your big club status. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Can I also say clubs have done it in the past, Ellie? Blackburn Rovers bought the league with Jack Walker. They bought all the best players. Newcastle probably going to do it now, buy all the best players. Chelsea done it for years, just buying the best players. Real Madrid have done it. Who was the other team that won the league? They shouldn't have won the league.
Leicester.
Leicester's another one. You know, Blackburn Rovers were in the second division when Jack Walker took them over. And within 2 or 3 years, they won the Premier League. And then 2 or 3 years later, they got themselves relegated.
But you know where Spurs were very unlucky, right? Look at the time scale. We moved into the stadium in April 2019, right? We didn't even get a full year in it before COVID came along and knocked the finances on their head.
Yeah.
If the COVID hadn't come along, I think we'd be looking at a very, very different scenario for Tottenham at the moment. I think that the games behind closed doors, the lack of revenue and everything really hit us, you know. I'm only recovering from that now.
Yeah. Girls who just forget my teeth and just to go love Spurs. Liverpool 68 trophies, Manchester United 67 trophies, Arsenal 48 trophies, Chelsea 34 trophies, Man City 32, and Tottenham 26 trophies.
Yeah, top six.
Top six,
Yeah.
Big club.
But where did we finish last season though?
Oh yeah, but that's the first time in 13 years we haven't qualified for Europe.
Yeah, but if you went from that, if somebody was come down, say we did finish in the top 7 or top 8, I can't remember. It was
been top 7 for the last 12 years, 13 years.
Yeah.
Top 4 most of the time.
I just want what's best for my club. I want what's best for Tottenham Hotspur, not what's best for and Ellie knows my views on Levy. I think this transfer window you've got to give him credit. And I think I don't know everybody else would agree on that. But I think with this Harry Kane thing, he's damned if you do and damned if you don't. We are going to go away from the Harry Kane thing. Just a little bit of news on that. We got people close to the Kane saga. This was just sent to me while we were having this lively debate. There'll be a horse's head outside my door in the next half hour from one of Philip's minions. Everyone there with my name written on it. I better be nice to him now. Okay, so be nice to Philip. Right, write that down. Be very nice. Right. People close. Yeah, and you as well. There'll be one heading to you as well, Ellie, and me. So
no more Tom Jones jokes.
No, I'm going to put them to bed for a long while for now. I'll have to come up with a new one. Stevie, not Stevie. Sorry, shut up, Dom. Just read what's on the screen, sir. People close to the Kane saga with the club believe that Ange will convince Kane to sign a new contract at Tottenham. It's also known that Ange will not mess about, and if Kane tells him he wants to leave, Ange will take the appropriate action. He does not want players that don't want to be a part of the club next season.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Can handle that.
Yeah. Now, we've got some daily Spurs news. Let's get back onto what transfer talks. We've got Tasoba deal isn't going as smooth. Sorry, I just need to shut the door.
Okay. It's Tapsoba, isn't it?
Tapsoba.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going good.
Tapsoba, yeah. It looks like there's maybe a difference. I think 40 to 45 million was the price that was being touted about for this guy. And Daniel obviously isn't offering that. We do have another option. We think there's another slide coming up. The guy playing for Wolfsburg, Van der Ven, who sounds good too. But what I like about these lads, they're both young guys. They're not too old, long in the tooth to be molded into the players that Angel want to bring them into. So we get either or both of these guys, I'd be happy. But we'll have to see.
Playing centre halves as well, which is fantastic.
And no Van der Ven, he can play multiple positions as well. He can play, can't he? He's a bit of a utility one too. So actually, he's a good option.
He's 6'4", fast as lightning. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
Look, and also with the Van der Ven, direct talks from Wolfsburg defender Mickey Van der Ven are happening. No update yet on an official opening bid. Mickey is keen on the move. A verbal proposal will come soon.
Do you know? I'm just wondering there. Is all this fast moving for players connected to this meeting that Harry Kane is having with Postecoglou? Do Spurs want to have as much ammunition for Ange to say, right, we bought him, we bought Maddison, we bought whatever, blah blah blah. I can see that being a bargaining chip whenever the talks actually do take place. So we'll have to wait and see.
It's a head turner, isn't it, Philip? If you get in loads of players of good quality, and you've got Maddison, who's like a star Premiership player, a proven one as well, it might turn his head, and he might say, "Yeah, well, Spurs, they're the club that I supported as a boy. I'll stay." Yeah.
I'm sure during the England duty recently, I'm sure Harry Kane had a word with Maddison too, told him what the setup was like at Tottenham and to come in there. Because suddenly he came from Newcastle to, wanted to go to Spurs.
Yeah. Carl's saying, let's not forget a certain Paratici was heavily involved in these targets this summer and still is unofficially.
That's true.
Yeah. Look, if you are enjoying what you're watching, please hit a like and hit the like button and subscription button if you can. If you want, the chat is hopping, so if you want to get ahead of the chat, please put it into a super chat. And while you're there, we are looking to do a members only show or members only podcast in the next week or so, myself and Philip. So only just for members only. So if you want to watch that podcast next week, you can pick up your memberships. They're only $2.99 and it's cheaper than Netflix and Amazon Prime, and you get more for your buck, as you've seen today. So, imagine watching this instead of watching, I don't know, Friends on Netflix. You get better crack here. Right now, Ellie, I'm very sorry I have to bring this up.
I know.
Right, Atletico Madrid.
Joe, you wanted sad music. You should have put some of that really sad violin music.
Actually, I think I've got something like that. Hang on. I have got something like that. Hang on. Where is it now? Would that do it now? Hang on. There you go. Now, Atletico Madrid are interested in Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Højbjerg, and Spurs are open to offers. Ellie, with this sort of crap music playing, are you sad?
I'm more than sad. Right. I love him. I think he's a fabulous asset to our team.
Yeah.
I just don't get how people can't see what his value is.
Yeah.
Because I see his value. I was a midfielder. I'd loved Højbjerg to have been a girl and played next to me. Because he fights for you, and he's passionate and he wants to get stuck in.
Oh, Lord.
He's the most. He wins the ball back most out of all the players in our team. So if we lose that, we're losing somebody who can win the ball back for us, which is highly important in Angie's system. Because a lot of people are saying he won't suit Angie's system. If you've got a ball winning midfielder, then you've got a really great asset there, and he'll fight for you. He doesn't drop his head like a lot of the players did last season.
I strongly disagree, but I think that if we're going to look, we are looking for somebody else. So if Ange feels like he doesn't suit him, that tells you that he doesn't suit him. Like if he wants to sell, no, but I'm just saying if we sell him and we get someone else, that just shows that he wasn't suited. Because don't forget, he likes he's just a bit stiff and he's a bit like the way his movements are. And sometimes he doesn't turn up. There's been games where he doesn't turn up as well. He needs everybody to run through brick walls at all times for him. And I just don't think Højbjerg is that player, personally. I just don't think he's good enough. He was good in a defensive system, but an attacking system, I don't think he's got what we need.
Okay, you said that, but when he played for Denmark, he got in the European best 11, right, as an attacking midfielder, because that's where they played him.
Yeah.
Look, in my view, Philip, what do you want to say in Højbjerg, and then I'll have my say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be sorry to see him go now, to be honest with you. But I begin to think there's no smoke without fire on this one.
Yeah, I do.
And I think maybe, as Mia said, that maybe there's someone else coming in to replace him. It'll be sad because, I mean, let's face it, he was like a robot, a Duracell bunny for us there for a while. Played so many matches on the trot and he kept the midfield together. Okay, he's had a few bad games, but who hasn't this season, really?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, do you remember Jerry Becks here, big up Gary Becks, hope you do, man. He says, he waves his arms at teammates when he's beaten easier than a traffic cone.
Well,
that's harsh. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but look, I use Southampton as an example, guys, right? He was in the tunnel and you could see him, he was videoed. You could see him telling the players, this is what Southampton are going to do. This is what's going to happen. He kept doing this all the time to the players.
Yeah.
And what did we do within 30 seconds?
No, that wasn't in the tunnel, Dermot. That was in the pitch after we scored the third goal.
No, he actually did it in the tunnel before they come out at halftime as well. He'd done it.
Yeah,
again.
but we gave the 2 goals away to Southampton right at the very end. In the last 5 minutes.
But he actually did it before they come out for the second half. It was actually videoed in the tunnel. Doing that, saying to Dyer and the defenders, it was like Dyer and.
Well, that game cost us Europe. Basically,
that game cost us Europe. That game, and look, I'm going to ask a question for more of you now. It's about Conte. And it's about something Martin O'Neill.
All right, we watched talking to me again.
Huh?
Thank you.
You what, Philip?
They watch us talking to me.
I didn't hear.
It's artificial intelligence. I'm mad altogether.
Right.
It's like
I want to ask you something I heard the other day, and it was from Martin O'Neill. And I'll talk to you about this, Philip, but it's more like for the girls, really. And you as well. I want to get your more thoughts on this. Martin O'Neill called Conte lazy. He was a lazy manager. It's easy to blame. It's easy to blame the players when you're a manager. It's your job to get that team out of the predicament it's in. It's your job to motivate the players. But so my question is to all of you: was Conte lazy? But are these players on motive? Can you motivate these players? Philip, do you want to go first on that?
Well, I think Conte, you could call him lazy. I think intransigent would be a better word for him. He was incapable of moving his system, changing his system. He had plan A and that was it. There was no plan B. And that cost us in a number of games. Like especially, I'll go back to the Manchester City game. We were 2-0 up at half time. That's the time you bring on an extra midfielder to shore things up because you know what's going to happen in the second half. And it did, but he didn't react in time. And that's the game that got me worried. I think this guy does not change his socks at all. Okay, to call him lazy, I think he thought he was doing us a favor to be here and maybe didn't have to work as hard as maybe he'd done at other clubs. Yeah. And certainly his comments, especially after the Southampton match, they were, okay, maybe the players deserved it. They probably did. But that sort of thing is said in the dressing room. It's not said in public to give TalkSport and Sky Sports enough material for a week to talk about it. Yeah. And that's what happened. And that was the end of Conte after that game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Mia, do you agree with what Martin said? Do you think Conte was lazy? And also, with Højbjerg, do you think Højbjerg will go to Madrid?
I think I would agree with what Philip said. I think that he was just very stubborn, and I don't think he had that in him to motivate players either. I think he just didn't have that personality. I think he didn't particularly want to coach them either, because who did he really improve? He didn't really improve anybody. You know, he actually probably made players slightly worse because of the way we had to play. So I think that his style of coaching is just the way that he does it, and it just didn't suit Tottenham, and he thought he was doing us a favour. And by him pointing the finger solely at the players and not pointing that finger back at him made me be a bit like, do you know what, mate, off you go, because you know what, I don't like that. He should have put his hands up a bit more and said it was the players, but ultimately I'm the one who coaches them. But he didn't want to do that. So for me, I kind of think that it's not lazy. It's just, I think, like I say, he just didn't do his job he was getting paid for, which was to motivate the players and to get the best out of them and to coach them, which he never did. And should he go to, should Højbjerg go? Yes, because I think he's too, I said the word janky, which was like a bit of an Americanism, but it's like a person who's just like, not like he's not going to be useful, I don't think, in the system. So we need to get somebody in who's got legs, who's got energy, who's got good movement and quick. And I think that that's what Postecoglou will want. And if he wants to get rid of Højbjerg and get someone else in, then that's all good by me. Even I said to you, if he did that with Romero, I'll be exactly the same.
Yeah. Big up to Paddy Harnett. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, Paddy, and I hope the family are okay as well. And I hope you get voted onto the fan board, because I know you've put your name forward to that. But so you have us as a channel will be behind you 100%, Paddy. Absolutely. So we've got your back, Paddy. So don't worry about that, sir. Very quick, just before we go on to the last bit of news, which is the very weird and very unusual that Son has now been downgraded to a year.
Sorry, lads, let's go again. Daniel Levy again.
Just very quick news. Okay, I've got 2 bits of breaking news coming up. Winks, guys, is at Leicester for his medical. So do you expect that to go through very quickly? Yes or no, Ellie?
Yeah, it'll go through.
Yeah, Mia?
He's a fit lad.
Yeah, it will.
Apparently, Perisic's wages are a stumbling block to any move at the moment. So what would you do there? What would you do, Ellie? Would you cancel contract, or what would you do? Keep him for next season?
Do you know what? I'd keep him as a squad player because he's useful. He is useful. He's a decent player. Even, like if you've got 15, 20 minutes to see out a game, he keeps the ball well and he can pick out a pass, can't he? He's shown that in the amount of assists he does.
Mia? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
It's okay. Perisic?
I don't know. I don't know if I would keep him because I feel like that he's got that attitude now. I don't know if he actually wants to be here. So I would just try and get. I know the wages are a problem. Maybe rip up his contract if we can, but try and get him gone. I wouldn't like to keep him. I don't think. No.
Spurs.
I know he was good with the assists, but
he was. Spurs target Jota leaving Celtic, but where to? I think he's coming to us. I think he's coming to Spurs. Personally.
No, I think he's going to. I think he's going to a Saudi club. I'm sure I read it in the chat that he's going to a Saudi club.
Ellie?
24. Flipping hell! If they get a 24-year-old, they've already got Neves at 26. Oof.
Yeah. So where do you think he'll go? Where do you think he'll end up? Us, Saudi? Where do you think, Ellie?
I hope us. I hope us because I like the player. I've already said it. I've put it all over social media that I love him. I think he's brilliant. I'd love him to come to us.
We've got Ollie saying it was too much around the women's discussion around Kane and Spurs. Relax.
It's too much around.
I don't get that.
So I've just read. I've just checked it on Twitter, and Jota is going to go to a Saudi Arabian
Yes,
club.
I'm getting the same news as well. He's going to. Jota's already agreed terms with Al-Ittihad.
Yeah, that's the big club, isn't it?
Right,
That's
I've
mad.
actually right. Okay, I've actually got some breaking news. So, Philip, just to give you the breaking news when you come back. Jota, we were talking about Jota and him leaving.
Yeah, what a waste! What a waste!
I know.
Going off to Saudi Arabia.
He's actually agreed terms with Al-Ittihad in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's
As opposed to
right.
if Jack Grealish was ever offered a job in Saudi Arabia, the team he'd be going to be Al-Kohol.
Bit of breaking news here. Eric Dyer has
completely. I don't know why I cry. I don't know why I bother.
Alcohol.
Oh yeah, very funny. I just got it now. Right. Eric Dyer has no intention of leaving Tottenham this summer and wants to fight for his place. Oh Lord Jesus Christ!
Oh God, for God's sake!
Yeah. I hope he has. I hope he has a nice cushion he can bring with him to sit on the bench on.
Yeah, that is so true. Right.
Yeah.
The bit of breaking news is Edwin Tamura was in London to hold talks with Tottenham over a deal for centre-back Victor Nelson. The Danish defender has been heavily linked to Tottenham, who are also looking to sign his club teammate Nicolo Zanzola. And Tottenham proposed, the report states that Tamura has travelled to London again to hold fresh talks with Tottenham for Nelson Zola. It's claimed that Tamura sat at the table with Spurs for both the 24-year-old centre-back and the former Roma man, and that's 60 million for the duo. Tottenham's proposed contract offer, but the report says that Postecoglou's side proposed a crazy county offer that includes 2 or 3 of their own players plus 30 to 35 million cash in exchange for the Galatasaray pair. There is no mention in which Tottenham players could be involved, but there are numerous the Australian is looking to offload. One of them could be easily Tanguy Ndombele. So there you go.
Interesting few weeks ahead here.
Yeah. Right. And also, guys, Tottenham also, where is it? Tottenham, Postecoglou and Spurs are linked with the 67 million striker with Kane transfer bid. Tottenham are interested in a big money move for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic, according to reports.
Yeah.
Now, guys, the last bit of news is Son is now officially a year younger.
Yeah.
Now, Philip, do you want to read all this out? Because this will go over my head. So I'll take that off. Right. Do you want to explain this to us?
First of all,
this is really gone over my head completely.
A law was passed a few months ago by the newly elected Korean president. I wouldn't pronounce his name anyway. Who previously campaigned for the country's unorthodox method of counting age to be abolished. in order to bring it into line with the rest of the world. The edict finally came into effect last Wednesday, at which point every member of the Korean population effectively became either 1 or 2 years younger in unison. Apparently, when you were born, the traditional Korean age system dates back centuries and saw the gestation period of all babies included in their age, deeming them to be 1 year old at birth. Every person that became another year older until January the 1st, even those babies born in December, will become 2 years old despite having been born only a week before. So you can see it is a wee bit crazy. But now we've got a 30-year-old striker instead of a 31-year-old striker, although it's not going to affect anything. So for the record, Son was born on the 8th of July, 1992, and is 30 years old, according to the international aging system, becoming 31 in a week's time. Despite the constitutional changes being made in Korea, Spurs will not have to alter any of the forward registration information, as the club is simply required to supply the Premier League with a verified date of birth, not an age. So there you go. You know, I mean, as I said earlier, lads, watching Spurs put years on you now. You've got a player who's got a year taken off. So
Joe, what his song should be, the rolling back the years, because they should play when he walks through the door. Honestly, it's such a strange thing to say that they were given that, especially like you said, the ones that were born 2 weeks or a week in December, like the end of December, and then they're going to be 2. Like, that's crazy. It's actually bonkers.
You know, when you read something like Ken Dodd's Dad's Dog's Dead and you get confused, you think, what's going on?
Yeah. That's like something that Nutter down the road in North Korea would do. You know, Kim Song-un, whatever you call him. You know, it's weird.
Yeah. Can I just say, Manchester United have agreed a deal with Chelsea for Mount 60 million. I'm reading. Yeah. It's in the chat there.
Right, I'll call him Mason Miss when he missed the penalty against us.
Yeah. What are they using for money now that they haven't got the ownership thing hasn't been sorted out?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. And this is the look. We've got 111 you're watching. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscription button.
Come on.
Please get super chats in. It does help. The chat is hopping, and also grab your memberships. As we nearly finish off. This is mad today. Really is.
The thing about Dermot, could you do one thing just to get this out of the way? The thing about James Maddison's tweets from 2013.
Yeah, that's
causing quite a bit of furore.
Well, okay, we'll do that first, and then we'll do the competition then, because we forgot to do that today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll finish off with the mount with the with the thing, because I think that's worth saying. Philip, do you want to tell people about this competition? And Mia, then can you put the question into the chat for us? We're running for about 5 or 10 minutes today. It's my own fault. I forgot to do it at the start of the show, so I do apologize. It's my own fault. Very bad host, so I apologize. So Philip, go on.
Right.
We haven't. Can I just say? Yeah, we haven't got this off the back of Del Boy's van, have we, Philip?
No, absolutely, no. It's kosher. It's above board. It's completely legitimate, kind of. Anyway, it's a signed Emerson Royale shirt, and how you can win it. Right, what you do is, when you answer the extremely difficult question that Mia's going to give you now in a minute, it's a real head scratcher, this one.
It is.
You put in a £2, €2, $2, £2, 2 whatever you want to have in yourself, super chat. And once you do that, your name goes into the draw. Now we've another week to go. We've been talking of doing the draw in about less than 2 weeks' time. And all money received from these super chats is being ring-fenced and be given to charity here in Ireland. Probably the Irish Cancer Society, maybe another charity as well, depending on how much we raise. And it'll all be done under laboratory conditions, with the money being shown up on the screen and everything. So that, there'll be no controversy over where the money went to. It goes straight to the charity, every penny in it.
And we always do this. You do go in to buy the super chat, but we always say one goes in with the funniest
answer. Yeah.
So the one person goes in with the funniest answer, but it is done by the super chat. And Mia, and the question is.
So Hoddle and Waddle had a hit single in the 1980s. Sorry, I mistyped. What was the name of this fabulous hit song?
I think it was 1908, actually.
Yes. We didn't win anything that year.
Well, that's the cup final year. Don't mention it. Don't mention it.
Carl says that is as good as I thought it was going to. Dermot, new pole dancing. Oh, very. Would you shut up about this? I don't know where this started. I really do not know, Carl.
Yeah.
But at least he hasn't bought up the cockerel cock anymore.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, just to mention these tweets that James Maddison put out when he was a young 15-year-old back in 2013. I don't know what was going on at the time, but he didn't like Gareth Bale. He says, I hope Suarez destroys Spurs, and basically called Gareth Bale a monkey. That was horrible, you know. And that has now been surfaced. Now, a lot of Spurs fans are resurfacing that email. Now, why? I do not know. It'd be different if he did it last week or last season. It was 10 years ago. Give the guy a break. And I think it's the guys that don't want Maddison at the club are putting up this tweet and trying to hang him with it. And I think what he needs to do, though, is maybe go on record as saying, listen, I was a kid, I wouldn't mean it. And just get rid of it. But it's unfortunate that these tweets do hang around to come back and bite you in the ass whenever you least expect it, you know?
That's the thing. That's the thing, though, when you let children very young have social media, see, because they do say these silly things, don't they, when they're very young, and that's the thing.
Yeah, and Carl says he was 15. Are you telling me people didn't do stupid? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I tell you what, when I was 12 years old, I rang up 999 and asked for all three: police, fire brigade, and ambulance.
Do not do that.
No, do not do that. Please do not do that. It takes away valuable time. But at 12 years old, I wasn't thinking straight. At 12 years old, I was hyper. If I knew now what I knew then, what I've got now, what I knew then, I would have done it. But at that time, I thought it was a great idea.
Do you know, that's what I'm saying, though. The thing is,
people do stupid things when they're young.
The thing is, like I say, the thing is, at 15, really, technically, he shouldn't have been on social media that young. I think it is very young. But my children, Jake's going to be 15 this year, and he says some really silly stuff, you know, like they say silly stuff, and he doesn't mean it. He's just 15. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens. And you can't keep holding on to people what they said when they were 15, because we all said and did silly things, you know, we really did.
Absolutely.
You know, you know.
And it's up to the parents to put them right. You know, as long as he's sorry, he's taken them all down anyway, hasn't he? He was too young. You have to forgive people when they're that young.
Well, I'll tell you, the guards came round and saw me that day, and literally I was crapping myself.
Yeah.
And they actually said, no, seriously, and they actually kept it on record till I was 16.
Yeah, and
nothing happened. You shouldn't do it, but at 12 years old,
Joe,
it was a dare from a mate of mine, and I did it on a dare. And
the thing is, though, it's better that they did that to you, because you had it on your record. You thought about it. That taught you a lesson. You know, that's the main thing, that you've learnt that lesson. You know, so it's done. It's done. Like, he did it when he was a kid. He was just a kid.
Yeah. My man went ballistic. My dad went ballistic, but my dad just talked to me. My man went to go and pick a stick at the bottom of the garden for yourself. Yeah, that's another story completely. Gary Beck says, especially when it's like 20 minutes to beat to best to get an ambulance. Yeah. Carl says, when I was 14, I left a message on my friend's phone that I thought his mum was a hottie, and I would probably I left it on the home answer.
Oh no!
Jesus. Oh.
Carl Simpson. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
Danny and Phil says, Ange's not so Spurs classic. Turn to rabbit.
Yeah.
We've got. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Big up the Moondog. Moondog's in the competition. This right with Diamond Lights, and I tell you what I'm doing. I'm in a good mood today. All right, Lee Smith. I know a lot of people. It is hard, and we do understand the cost of living.
I'll just write him in the list here. Hold on.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Lee, you're in the competition. So are you, Corey, and so are you, Ryan, as well. I know some of you are finding it hard and struggling. So I always pick 2 or 3. I've tried to be fair.
Well done, Dermot.
But look, it does have to be entered by Super Chat, and I do try to be fair. So that's the best I can do, and I hope everyone's all right with that. And Mia, how can I enter in your channel?
If you go over and become a Patreon member, then I will put you into the competition, and I will put some money towards the charity as well.
Don't worry, Kate. You've been there. You and Jim are in there loads of times too, so don't worry. Screw you, or I don't for Luke like. And he says, Moondog said, "This is for the charity."
Moondog.
I tell you why we've done it. Me and Philip talked about. I lost, as you all know, I lost my mother-in-law 3 months ago due to cancer, and it was. I lost my dad to cancer as well 20-something years ago, and I've been through it myself with prostate cancer. I fought it, and thankfully, all the gods up in heaven that I beat it. And do you know what I mean? It can be beaten, but it got me thinking. And I know with what happened on another YouTube channel, we were very aware of what people would think. So this is why we're doing it this way. And Philip's in charge with it. Philip is going to deal with it all because Philip is the sensible one out of the lot of us, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Philip's the dad of the whole family. He's the dad of our channel, and he's in charge of it. It's got nothing to do with me, nothing to do with Ellie. Well, we all take responsibility, but Philip knows what he's doing. So, Philip, we are going to do this live when we bring the money over, aren't we, Philip? We're going to do it live on the show, aren't we, to prove it's done?
Yeah, we're gonna actually. What I'm going to do is make the payment, and then just show take a photograph of the receipt, put it up so everyone can see that the money is being sent.
But it is to the Irish Cancer Society. And what's the other one, Philip?
Well, we don't know yet. Well, we'll see. I mean, there's so many deserving charities. We'll see when the time comes. If there's any particular one that needs a few bob. There's one particular one that I like to give to myself. It's the Make-A-Wish Foundation, where they bring kids, terminally ill kids, to like Disneyland and places like that. You know, it's a fantastic organization. So
that's brilliant
too.
And look, if you can put Corey's name on there as well and Ryan's name in there, because I know they're both struggling at the moment, Philip. So look, I am trying to be fair, and I know I don't want to piss anyone off. I'm just trying to be fair at the moment. We've got Kate saying, "I just like my titsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini." Glad I got that. And look, and that's another one as well. Fibromyalgia research, something that I know Kate suffers with. I'm being tested for it, and I know. Look, and also there's loads of, but the cancer one's very close to my heart, for obvious reasons. So that's something there we do, and I don't think it gets enough support as it does. So big up, Moondog. Thank you so much. You're very kind, guys. Right, last thing. The song was Taking Me Down to Paradise City. Yeah, that's true.
And by the way, can I just say that Dermot and myself were watching this earlier. I don't know if anybody watched Glastonbury last weekend.
Yeah.
If you want to spend five of the most enjoyable minutes of the weekend, is look up Rick Astley playing drums to Highway to Hell, the AC/DC song. It's an absolute brilliant, isn't it, Dermot? It's superb.
And I'm a massive AC/DC fan anyway.
Yeah.
Corey, can you put that in about the donkey again? Because I can't find your comment. Corey and Moondog here with the other super chat. Make-A-Wish is a fantastic charity. Here's the tenant for that too.
You're too good.
Oh, Moondog.
Brilliant.
So kind. Such a kind person.
Yeah.
I've taken a note of that.
Dude, that's child's play in comparison to what we get up to. Yeah. I tell you one thing. Do you know what? Youngsters today don't know what it was like when I was a youngster. We got up to all sorts of mischief, and we had so much more freedom when we were younger. I mean, I remember drinking up in the hills with my mates. Do you know, up in the hills in either in Bunagara and also in St Albans, all my mates up in the playing fields just drinking and doing. And Colin says, "This is for the Cockerel Cock or the charity. Up to you."
Colin.
Go on, Colin.
Did you used to play a game called Runouts in Ireland?
Yeah.
You heard of it?
Yeah.
Brilliant game.
Yeah, I used to play for a GAA side in London Coney when I was younger as well, and as well in Mullingar as well. I used to play GAA, which very quickly brings me on Dublin versus Mayo on Sunday, Philip. So let us know.
Would you believe I've got a ticket for it? I'm going.
Oh, you bugger!
Yeah.
You absolute bugger! Can you get me one?
Dermot, I got one by the skin of my teeth. Only my brother-in-law is involved in the GAA. I wouldn't have got one. So I'm going on Sunday.
All right.
So.
Okay.
And we've got a super chat here from Nathan Passard. He says, we've conducted a football tournament, OSC, and raised money for charity. You guys should plan something like that.
Difficult, we're kind of all living away from each other. It's awkward.
Yeah, well, we may do something on FIFA. We may do something.
Yeah,
we might do a FIFA tournament or something like that. And we do know who's going to win Sunday. Mayo going to beat Dublin, though the other half will probably tell me not.
Cork are going to beat Derry as well, I think.
Yeah, they will do. Come on, Cork. Cork's my second. Cork think they should be their own republic. No, seriously, they do. Cork actually thinks it should be its own republic, don't they, Philip?
Oh, there's known as a republic anyway, and the People's Republic of Cork.
And it comes from my relation. Mick Collins comes from the West Cork as well, and Philip knows what I think about Mick Collins. Gary Beck says fibrosis is an awful illness. My wife has it. I had to quit work at 40 because of that illness. Yeah. Look, I know what it's like to be a carer. I'm a carer for my wife as well. I know Ellie's a carer for her husband as well. My other half had 3 major heart attacks. She had the first one at 42. Wow. So yeah, I know what it's like. Oh, what's next door neighbors? Shut up. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that too loud. But yeah, I know what it's like, Gary. So yeah, I know. But listen, man, we're here to make everyone give their bit of enjoyment. You need anything, you can always talk to any of us. We're always here for everyone. Daniel Field, nice one. Moondog, we've got fibromyalgia as well. Yeah, Cork is the capital. Oh well, we have our own opinions on that. Dermo, if you're doing the FIFA thing, let me know. I will do. Yeah. Me too, Gary. Jim is my carer, and big up to Gary. Look, man, we all know what it's like. So look, if you need anything, we are here. That's why we do these shows, isn't it, guys? I'll start with you, Philip, very quickly before we go on to our last segment of the show. We do this so people can get enjoyment, can't we? That people actually, if they are a carer, or it gives them a bit of an hour and a half of enjoyment, isn't it?
As you can see, like rarely we get too serious. I know we got a bit serious today now, but usually it's very light-hearted, and we're always sparking off each other, and it's just great fun. And if people can get a kick out of it and enjoy it, fair dues. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to do,
By the way, Coover, if you're watching, there's vodka in that. That went on for years. That apparently I was an alcoholic for years, and I was one when I was younger. But never mind. We've got Daniel Lever, evening. Nathan Passard, Spurs family is with you. Yeah, we've got Irish Rebel, Derry, we win.
Yeah, well, it's a tight one. That
I want a Mayo Derry final. That's what I want.
I think Kerry might have something to say about that.
But as long as we don't get Tyrone, I don't care. Right, guys, the final bit of the show. Has this been a successful window? Give your reasons for yes or no. But this could be the starting lineup for our first game of the season. As Ellie starts getting a motorbike revved up outside to go on, highway to hell. So Phil, I'll start with you, Mia, down the bottom, and then I'll work my way up. So Mia, has the transfer window been successful so far? And can you see this being the teams going for our first game of the season?
Yes, I do think it's been good so far. I think that the 2 that we got in officially, obviously, are good because we've got ones obviously that we think we're likely to get. Obviously, we've got Kulu as well, and we're going to make Poro finalised as well. So I think that we've had a good so far, but I will judge it at the end. So I won't judge it from now, like what happens now. I'm going to judge it at the end when I fully think it. So I hope that Dial is not in the team. If Dyer is in the team, oh my God, I don't know. I just no, please no, just no. Like, yeah, that's all I can say about that team. Bentancur won't be back just yet, so maybe that might be slightly adjusted. But yeah, I think the team, minus a few obviously little adjustments, I think that probably could be the lineup. Yeah.
Ellie, has it been a successful window so far, and can you see this being the starting lineup for the start of the new season?
Yeah, it's a very good start because obviously getting Maddison, that's a statement signing in my book, because he's going to bring goals and assists, and he's going to replace the creativity that we didn't have. You know, all right, Bentancur was creative, but he got injured, so we need somebody else while he's getting, fit. So in terms of this lineup, though, I agree with Mia, no Dyer, just sling him out, right? And then I would play Emerson instead of Porro, because he's better defensively. But there's, you know what, I love Porro. He gives you a lot. So I don't know where we can fit him in. Maybe we can put him in as an inverted midfielder, maybe off Kulu. That would be an option because he moves the ball very quickly as well. I'm in agreement on that side. Yeah, Udogie and Sonny and Kane up front with Kulu. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Now, Philip, look, we get to this super chat. I have starred your question there for Philip, Gary, so I'll get back to you in a minute. Just here, not yet, very positive, he says, Star, we need a winger, 2 centre-backs priority, a striker, and getting Deadwood out. And I think we all agree with that, don't we, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll come back to that super chat because I want to get more into that. Philip, very quickly, we've got this here before we get your thing. It's Gary Pex. It says, Philip, my nan's maiden name was Callahan. What part of Ireland would she be from, Southern or Northern? I think Southern Ireland, wouldn't you?
I think Southern. Wait, I just look up and see which county is the most prevalent name for Callahan.
I would have thought Dublin.
Yeah, it could be actually. What is Callahan's surname origins? Bear with me for a second.
Well, Callahan, isn't that and also a Welsh name as well?
Because
James Callahan was Prime Minister, wasn't he, of England? Wasn't he from Wales?
No, it's an Irish name. It comes from it means frequenter of churches is what it means actually.
Yeah.
But now it's thought to be much older, but meaning bright-headed. Now, what is the nationality of the son of Canada? Irish. Munster. Yeah, it's from down Munster. Cork direction.
Cork, yeah. See again. Cork again.
Cork again.
So there you go, Gary. I hope that helps you, man. So Cork,
not necessarily Cork, could be Kerry, could be around that area, the southwestern part of Ireland.
I tell you, Derval did my family tree on the Farrell side, which is my birth name. And we did it on the Vicar's side. And the Vicar's name actually comes from Irish Travellers, which I never realised until a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'm sort of got travelling blood in me back from on my birth mother's side.
I was thinking.
Yeah. There you go.
So anyway, Philip, you don't do tarmacking on the side, no?
I do, yeah. I do tarmac and pave snap. I'm laying patios and everything I can do now with my back now being as my back is crumbling. I swear to God, I'm just falling to pieces at the age of 46. I feel like I should become the bionic man. Anyway, and Ellie become the bionic woman, and she just jumps to save Højbjerg. Anyway,
right,
Philip, let's get back to Spurs. Now, look, we're going to deal with the elephant in the room here, Dyer, right? Let's just put, say, another defender in there, say, Longley if he signs, or somebody like that, and they're Dyer. Would you see that starting lineup? If it's not, who do you think will be in Dyer's place and who could be in Harry's place if they are to move at the end?
Well, it could be Van der Ven, or it could be Tarso, whatever you want to call that guy. It could be one of them in the fullback, in the centre back position. And if Harry Kane goes, I can see Richarlison just slotting in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Irish Rebel, I got barred from Brandywell for breaking the seat at Windsor Park.
Oh, You went to Windsor Park and survived. Tell you, well done.
Corey said, allegedly Stevie Wonder has talent. Something Dyer lacks. That's true.
Yeah.
We've got Spurs Plus here. Was there a game? Was there last week for the league? If Ireland game versus Cork.
There was a League of Ireland game, all right, last week. I don't know who was playing in it though.
Yeah,
there was a few. Hang on, I'll check it and see. Hold on.
Yeah, up the Rebels. I love that Spurs Rebel, Irish Rebel, and Philip and Ellie know. Pardon me, knows what I mean. But I love my Irish history.
Yeah, you do.
And you know,
very proud Irishman.
I am. I'm very proud of my country. Very proud of. We're only a young nation. We're only 100 years old, 101 years old as a nation.
That's right.
We, as Philip said yesterday, sporting wise, we're probably one of the most successful young nations, young countries in the world for what we produce, world champions and the football side. And there's a country across the water from us that's been a niggling little pain in our backsides, or we've been their niggling little pain in their backsides. We should never know.
By the way, Derry City beat Cork 2-0 last Friday.
Yes,
that was a rehearsal for the Derry versus Cork GA match of the weekend.
Yeah. And can I just say, a friend of mine called it Londonderry. You do not call it Londonderry by any shape, form, or anything that makes you Catholic. It is Derry. It will always be Derry, and it should be free Derry.
Actually, there was a joke too about, the joke there about Windsor Park.
Yeah.
This guy died and went up to heaven, and he was wearing a Celtic shirt. And St. Peter asked him, "Did you ever do anything brave in your life?" He says, "I did." He says, "I went to Windsor Park to see Linfield playing, which is a very Protestant team, wearing a Celtic shirt." "Oh, that's very brave of you. When did you do that?" "About 20 seconds ago."
Yeah.
Oh, dear. And look, Ryan217, thank you so much for the super chat as well. He says our defense is priority. However, with Bentancur out to January and maybe Højbjerg going, we need to strengthen in that area too.
Yeah.
We probably do, but I don't think it's a priority. I think the defense is a priority.
We have Basuma and we have Skip.
And we've got Saar as well.
Yeah,
Saar as well. So we're probably okay there.
Very good player.
I think the centre back bit, if we can get the centre back problem sorted out, then we're done now.
I want to put it out there. I'm as Republican as the next man. So I've never, ever called it that. It's always been Derry to me. Irish Rebel, watch your tongue. I always do.
Has everybody seen Derry Girls?
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Derry Girls, watch it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Look, my mother's from Northern Ireland. She's from Armagh, and I've had many of a happy holiday in Armagh. I really haven't. As a kid living in Mullingar, we used to drive up from Mullingar to Northern Ireland, and back in the 80s, it was just like going on the. How would you describe it, Philip?
You were scared, bloody shitless, going across the border. I remember going across the border. I had two young kids at the time, and they were twins, right? And we used to buy stuff in the north and smuggle it across the border into the south. And what I used to do was go and buy the stuff, pack it in under the kid's chair in the back of the car, and get the kids to cry as we're going through the checkpoint.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing: the British Army, I know they're only doing a job, but we'd be coming up to a checkpoint, and one shy would say, "What color car are we checking tonight?" "Oh, check the red ones," and they would take your car apart to make sure you weren't carrying anything. It was scary. It was absolutely scary. It was. I've been nearly caught out in a few incidents, bombings and stuff like that, which I'll tell you about some other time. But I tell you, not easy.
No, me and Philip are going to do a podcast on Ireland and what it means for us to be Irish, and what it means to us to be Irish. We're very proud of our country, and it's like Mia is very proud to be English, aren't you, Mia?
Who was talking Irish there.
Do you know what? I'm very proud to be English, but I'm also very proud to be Greek, because a part of my history, when I was young, my mum used to put the Greek radio on. I used to go to Greek school. I spent a lot of time in Cyprus growing up when I was a kid. So I spent a lot of time over there. So Cyprus, obviously, as well. I'm very, very proud. A very proud Cypriot girl as well.
Yeah. Talk about QPR, not Spurs, right?
Should be.
We're top club, right?
Right. Well, listen, we're going to end off here as Ellie goes and has a talk to her husband about QPR.
No, you're saying about Mia saying that
Mia is going to go and find a Greek fella to go off and get
Do you know
married.
what? If only I could. Most of the people in Cyprus I'm bloody related to.
My husband was born in Cyprus, so he's a proper Cypriot.
And Nathan says, I'm proud to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Well, we can all agree on that.
Oh,
But listen, we're going to end off here. Philip, I know you need to pop off, sir. When are we on next? When's our podcast next? Is it tonight or tomorrow?
We'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. And what we're going to do it on?
Oh, a bit of everything. A bit of pop.
Bit of everything.
Bit of that.
Yeah, we are going to have, it's called the catch up of the week. We are going to do that. So we're back on tomorrow night at 8. We're back on tomorrow at 4 as well. Mia, where can people find you very quickly?
Over at Spurs tonight. If you don't know, then give your head a wobble.
And then Ellie, where can people, when are you on next for your breakfast show? Is it next week?
I want to do one on Sunday, actually, if that's all right. I want to do the Canadian team on Sunday.
So watch out for that. Yeah, watch that for Sunday. Ellie will be on Sunday with our breakfast show.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be around doing the background because I think I'll be too hungover.
It's all right. I've done Ireland, England, and USA so far.
So listen, thanks for everyone. Please hit the like button, hit the subscription button. Me and Philip, I think, are back tomorrow. And then we're on tomorrow night for our podcast where really we'll talk about everything Spurs, music, whatever. Whatever happens, me and Philip go there. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your day. Please get over to Mia's channel, like her channel as well. But come on, very lastly, this is, who shall I say now? This is Mia when she found out that this is Ellie. Sorry, this is Ellie when she found out Højbjerg has left Tottenham.
Yeah. Yes.
On that bloody bombshell, goodbye.
Højbjerg must stay.
In Conte we trust. In Conte, in fucking Andrew we trust. Oh, dear.
Oh, I can't believe you just said that.
I can't believe I've just hit the like button, end button.